On Real Estate Fundamentals today, we're going to talk about the brokerage side, the agent side of the business. But more importantly, I'm not going to share with you ways on, how to list properties or how to fill out contracts. But what we're going to talk about today is it's going to be a replay of a radio interview that I was on with a couple of very, very successful real estate investors, real estate entrepreneurs by the names of Jason Bible, who's also known as Mr. Texas Real Estate, and Robert Orfino, Mr. California Investor. So these are some friends of mine that I've known for many, many years. And whether you know this or not, I recently decided to partner my business with the eXp Realty. That's where I decided to hang my license at. So rather than go into all the details, including stock ownership, additional income stream, medical benefits, lead generation, and on and on and on, we're gonna move into a replay of this radio show that I have with Jason and Rob as they make their announcement. They make their announcement via the radio airwaves of their decision to move to eXp. This is very, very important, whether you're just a solo investor entrepreneur or whether you've got a big team and you're a high volume real estate investor. I think you should consider looking closely at the eXp model and all the ways that it's being used and leveraged to grow our investing businesses. Because when you see big players like Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Than Merrill, and other very, very big real estate investors moving and getting their license to move to eXp, there's a reason. So I encourage you to watch this video and think about when big, extremely successful real estate entrepreneurs are making this move to eXp Realty. I think it's something you may want to consider.
Welcome to the Texas Real Estate Radio Network with Mr. Texas Real Estate Jason Bible and Mr. California Investor Robert Orfino. Join us as Jason and Robert talk about the hottest real estate market in the country, the entire state of Texas. Learn why Texas is such a great market to invest in and why it could be strong for years to come. Get ready to talk all things Texas on your new home on the way to the office. Texas Real Estate Radio.
Well, welcome to the show. Big announcement today, Rob.
Yeah, big day.
Big surprise. That's what you wanted to name the show.
Yeah.
I just went out and just, put it right out there. So we got two guests in studio, but do you want to talk first about what's going on and introduce the guests, or how do you want to do this?
We're going over to eXp.
All right, well, that's solved that problem.
There we go.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
All right, show's over, boys.
There it is. We're done.
You're going to listen to music for the next hour, and then we'll hear it. You'll hear some second hour.
We listen. These guys will talk about it even more, but we analyzed and went deep and finally realized there's something in the middle of all that made it absolutely worthwhile for us and anyone else who should be coming on board. If they're missing that, then they're really missing out on some really part of the big picture. So, anyway, well, let's introduce our guests here. So we have Chris and Brant, who are eXp extraordinaire agents. Say hello, guys.
How you guys doing?
How you
Brant
doing?
Phillips.
Good. Chris Bounds here. So we came over. We were getting all the paperwork done and all that stuff. We wanted to make the announcement because there are people who are coming to us now and saying, "Hey, I just got my license. What should I do?" And I'm just like, "If you could just wait till Wednesday, that would be great." So, and that's what we're doing. But getting right into it, we can talk about all the other great things about it. But the thing that Jason and I see is our plan is to buy about $100 million in real estate over the next 3 years, and even more beyond that. And if we just take 3% of that, right, and then we take 5% of that 3%, Jason and I get a ton of stocks. And I don't know any other real estate company that is offering a retirement plan, which is how I look at it. Right? So that 5%, that little bonus on our commissions, and if we split commissions and all that other stuff, and recruiting people and getting bonus and bonus and bonus and bonus, For us, we looked at that and said, that's killer.
Yeah.
And if someone had explained that to us, at least to me, a year ago, we probably made some different decisions.
Or 7 years ago.
7 years ago, or 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing is, and then the big thing, which most people don't get, is the difference between revenue share and profit share.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things, once we understood them and laid it all out and ran our models, we were like, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, because profit share is pretty easy to run to zero, right?
Well, that's the goal of many entrepreneurs is not to show profit, right?
Right.
So, but revenue share is hard to avoid.
Right, absolutely. So I think when, there were some other operational things for us also. We wanted to operate outside the state, so that presents some unique challenges for us if we're going to go start buying stuff in Florida and Vegas and all that other stuff. And then I think the second thing too is with the Texas Real Estate Center,
yes,
and working with KW, there might have been some challenges there. I didn't want to make it seem like we were starting our own market center.
Right.
So, and they've been great to work with. So
they're fantastic.
They're a great organization to work with. So, well, where do you want to take this from here?
Well, let the guys go ahead and do their standard pitch.
Okay.
Because we just tramped all over.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So why be an agent in eXp?
Yes.
What's kind of the standard issue?
I'm going to ask these guys.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is I'm like you guys. I'm an investor, right?
Mhm.
So I started 12, 13 years ago, and focusing on what we got into this game for: create wealth, passive income. No, I had no desire, interest to ever even have a real estate license. So I was plugging along, buying rentals, working my corporate job for a couple of years. I got to the point, this was 2009, where I was going to quit my job. And I'm like, let me get the license just in case this whole investing thing.
A little backstop here.
Yeah, just a little hedge against if everything didn't work out. So I got my license 2009, and honestly, I didn't really use it. I had one of Networth flat fee guys, Dealworth.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I just threw everything to Kevin, and I'm going along, plugging along, building my business. So about 5 years ago, I hired a full-time agent in office to come do all my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting in a CE class like 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm like, why am I here? I'm not using this thing. It's not creating wealth.
Yeah.
It's not creating passive income. So I walked out of class, deactivated my license. That was it. Made note at that point in time for a real estate investor who's focusing on investing, didn't really make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, kind of what you guys alluded to, I saw eXp about 2 years ago. Friend of mine, also a real estate investor, said you gotta check this out. Looked at it. This is the biggest no-brainer of all time. So so we attack it obviously from an investor point of view, but for real estate agents, this is what we do a little Kiyosaki financial education with them, like where you're at right now. Do you have equity in what you're doing in the company you're working for? The answer is no. Do you have an additional income stream, revenue share? The answer is no. Now we have medical benefits. I've got 5 kids.
Right.
Our medical went down almost $700, $800 a month with that. Lead generation, all these things they give us, and with the revenue share, we'll get into that later, but there's not only are agents now able to have equity, multiple streams of income, but a duplication model like I've never seen before. So that's the really cool thing with it, where our rental properties, and I've got some mobile home parks. We're closing on the 51 lots, the subdivision today. It's not very passive, okay? And my income with my real estate that is, quote unquote passive is good, but it doesn't expand without me doing a lot of work to that, to that property. And that's the thing with eXp is when agents really take the time to look at the model, they get fired up. They're like, I'm vested in this thing. I've got income. I've got stock. I've got medical benefits. They go out and share it with people. So it's not only passive income, it's expanding income because we're growing exponentially at just an amazing clip. So that's my little pitch, I guess.
No, well, you got us. the multiple streams is really important for Jason and I. We have so many streams of income, right?
Yeah.
And just adding another one that just fit right in like hand in glove was perfect for us. So we understood that. We've built before, so we don't mind recruiting and building a team. We're going to talk about that in the next segment, what our team looks like at the Texas Real Estate Center, and all the benefits you can get for joining our team. And again, just those little bonuses like healthcare, right? Like right now, my healthcare is covered by a Christian co-op in Ohio, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur, and that was the only thing that was affordable to me. And now we're into eXp, and I'm like, oh, all right, let's go a little more standardized here and get, they did great for me for a long time, but now it's time to get a little more serious.
Yeah.
While my heart still beats and everything that works normally, right? It's all crazy. But we looked at all that stuff and we said, hey, this looks like a really solid basis for us and will fit into what we do greatly, as well as telling folks within our organization, hey, you already have your license. Come on over here and take advantage of all these benefits. Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk more about eXp Realty and why we made the change. This is Robert and Jason from Mr. Texas Real Estate, and this is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with Mr. Texas Real Estate, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. We're joined by Chris and Brant, and we're talking eXp Realty. So let's talk about building the team. You guys have built a pretty awesome team so far here in the greater Houston area. Are you guys the top team builders, or do you say you guys are, flagpoles? People recognize you?
I'd say definitely within our niche.
In the real estate investment world?
Real estate investor world, as far as I'm aware, probably in the entire company, we've got one of the strongest investor concentrated teams
the strongest.
And we're also backed by some of the top guys in the entire company, like some of the top 10 agents in the entire company. So we've got a lot of great leadership in the team.
Yeah, and to clarify too, Rob, you mentioned Houston, so people listen to this. We're building a team across all 50 states.
Yes.
So right now, I've got 100 and something agents in about 12 different states. And as of yesterday, we have a team, for example, in Massachusetts coming on. There are 20 agents that are onboarding right now. So this is all 50 states. It's kind of the power of the model. Multiple provinces in Canada, UK, Australia, moving into Mexico very, very soon. The Philippines. What are a couple of other countries?
So we've got like 20 countries targeted for onboarding of the next.
Very, very soon.
I'm going to take the Cancun team.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
That's my province. Yeah, I'll take everything on the Yucatan Peninsula.
There you go.
I'll be down there every week.
But I think once you guys lay out, what the company is about, and again, from that team building experience and working with folks inside your team is, again, for us, it was a pretty quick conversation. But explain a little bit more about, what the team looks like and the benefits of working with the team.
So everyone needs active income. And for us, we happen to choose flipping, whether buying rentals and or flipping houses, flipping mobile home parks, what Brant's done. Agents, your traditional agent, they're basically flipping paper. They're working hard for commissions. Everyone, until you've built up a size enough portfolio, you have to focus on the active. But what eXp allows is, for the first time ever, it's a brokerage that allows an agent doing their active business. It gives them an exit strategy and the ability to build a retirement while doing what they're already doing.
Right.
That's the goal. So you mentioned stock for you and how that can add up. One key point there is you're getting the stock at a discount.
Yes.
As investors, we love buying things at a discount. Can't really do that. I don't have Warren Buffett's mind to go out and do that at some mass level, but I can use my commissions to buy stock at a 10% discount. And as far as building a team, the way I look at it is I'm going to be in real estate the next 5, 10, 20 years, probably the rest of my life. Agents naturally would already ask me, hey, who are you with? What do you recommend? I didn't get paid a dime for referring the other company I was with, which I was happy with. They did what they did. But at this point, it's like, now I have the ability not only to earn stock and build wealth, but to earn passive income by talking to agents about how they can improve their business, improve their bottom line, and put more money in their pocket and their family's pocket, as opposed to the current situation, which is putting money in their brokerage pocket. It just makes sense. Yeah. And so the whole recruiting, building the team, it actually comes pretty naturally because I don't have to feel guilty about trying to sell you the next greatest vitamin or makeup product or whatever. This is a real estate brokerage. They're disruptive. They're disrupting the industry. They're Amazon real estate, and we can all make more money.
Oh, I like that.
I like that's kind of why I'm doing this. I'm not. You always get the guys that are like, oh yeah, I'm doing this to help people. I'm like, oh, I'm really doing this to make piles of money.
Well,
really,
a byproduct.
It's a byproduct. Yes, yeah. You get rewarded from the marketplace, right?
It's compensation for contribution.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so, and I think it's important too to clarify the word, let's define the word team.
Sure.
Right, so eXp has traditional team structures where everyone has a different role in a certain team. They're going out for production. We often use the word team just meaning you're in our downline, right? Like you're on our team, joined under us. So for everyone, listen to this, for you guys who were, to join under Mr. Texas Real Estate, what we've done is, let's talk about two things. There's the eXp value proposition. We've already talked about that, and that's great, and it's awesome. But what we've done is, we're really a team built of real estate entrepreneurs. So we're attacking this more of like, hey, how do we build a business? So we're plugging into everything that eXp offers, but we have additional value adds, if you will. And we have two masterminds a week, right? So multiple masterminds a week that are led by investor agents, very important, right? And so we have those every single week. We have additional, we have discovery meetings, right? Where we do a business overview every single day, 7 days a week, live. You can come in and ask questions, all those types of things. So we've built online training. We have 3 training programs that we've built 100 videos each for agents and agent investors to come in, get plugged in with additional resources above and beyond what eXp does. Because that's what we're doing. eXp, like I said, is awesome. It's great. But just like the Keller Williams model, the RE/MAX model, there's a lot of brokers competing for agents. So we're just doing the same thing. Hey, how can we create the greatest amount of value for people considering eXp? So we've gone above and beyond and doing what we've done and what you guys have done. Real estate investors, you offer masterminds, you do training, you go over case studies, you help them grow their business, and we're doing the same thing. And so for guys like you, Jason, Robin, myself, and Chris, the cool thing is I found that most people, even if they're an agent, everybody wants to be an investor. They've thought about it, at some point in time.
Yeah. Rob and I are fond of saying, you go to any party and say you're a real estate investor, you're all of a sudden the most popular guy in the room, right?
Exactly. And so, I don't know the percentage of agents who make that leap, but, damn it, we're giving them every opportunity to, to plug in and take advantage of it. And some of them have. They've taken advantage of it. They've sent us deals. So I've actually bought deals from my agents. So we give them all that type of training, driving for dollars. If they want to start doing marketing, we teach them that for free. Hey, if you want to bring those deals to us, great. You want to buy it yourself? That's great too. We'll give you coaching and help with that. So this is a way for people like us to not only grow our own business, but help those at the same time, right? They're bringing deals. So it's really like a win-win type of thing, and it's working out real well.
Well, I think with the 4 of us, if there's here's what I run across a lot. I'm been a real estate agent and broker for 23 years. Wow, it's great. How many doors do you have?
Crickets.
Yeah, nothing. And it's like,
that's how the lunch starts.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You're missing the point of this whole thing. So I think with us and the folks that are around us and the folks that we work with, we want to make sure that they're getting their doors, even if it's just 1 or 2. In the first few years, to have that in that equity build is amazing.
Who was it that we used to work with over at KW that would say, look, if you're in real estate, not to buy cheap real estate, it's like why do you work at the Gap? To get cheap jeans, right? It's like this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing, right? And Gary Keller, of course, is on board with that too. So it's like,
well, I wrote the book, right?
Yeah,
He wrote the book.
Yeah.
So, all right, when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what we're doing over at the Texas Real Estate Center, how eXp Realty is playing a big part of that. This is Robert and Jason. This is Texas Real Estate Radio Network. We'll be back.
So we need to. We'll talk about
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plenty of cowbell.
Yes. Cowbell. Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are talking eXp Realty. Jason and I have signed up. We are working to work with other individuals. We did our first Mr. Texas Real Estate meeting on Sunday night.
That's right. Yeah, we did.
We talked about, folks, hey, if you're going to write for us, you're going to bring us deals, we want every advantage afforded to us in the TREC contract.
Right. Yeah. So we're teaching agents how to make offers on our behalf.
Yes. And so, again, we're sitting at another $100 million of properties to buy, and hopefully they're not all $110,000 houses at a time, right? But
Yeah,
it kind of seems that way.
I don't know. I don't know. That duplex, that triplex we just bought, I'm like, I could slam down $50 million in that.
Oh,
that's pretty sweet.
So we bought we bought a really good triplex for $115. Needs about 50, and the gross rent on it is about $2,700.
Is that here?
Yeah, that one's actually here.
And it's on a cul-de-sac, and it's perfect.
This is classic. Jason on MLS hot tub, and I was sitting there and I was like, let's go buy this one. I literally bought it the next day. So
we gave them over asking too.
Yeah, way over.
Yeah, like they're happy too. Anyway, so that's what we do. So Jason and I, we do find deals ourselves, but we really don't want to. We'd like other people to find deals for us, and so we're happy to start, putting people in eXp Realty that will want to work directly for us. We're calling this the Club 45, and on top of everything else eXp is doing and everything else that Chris and Brant are doing, we have a building that we bought, and we're going to try and make that the center for a lot of things that are going on. There will be a lot of customers and a lot of people walking through. We've dropped the investment word.
That's right, yeah.
From the title, so it's just the Texas Real Estate Center. And we plan on doing a lot of first-time home buyers right there, because we have a 100-person classroom. We plan on doing a very typical Saturday morning first-time home buyers. And if you are working with us through eXp Realty, you are happy to sit on a side table there and work with new buyers. So we can feed you buyers. On the other side of it, we are always buyers. If you just fill out the contracts the way that we want them filled out, we're happy to buy that. We get a lot of people from all over the place. Hey, I want to bring you deals. We're like, well, again, and everything that I've been saying to them in emails is, if you just stay tuned for like another 2 weeks, you'll have that opportunity. And so we want to folks that are working with us that have some experience. If you don't have experience, and take advantage of the training, be really aggressive with the knowledge that is provided. Right? There is so much training at every level that, forget Facebook, forget Netflix. You should be filling all your nights with all this great knowledge that is provided, so you can come out of the gate firing for us. And again, so we're happy to bring people within the organization eXp to sit in. We'll have an office for eXp at our building, so there'll be a place where people can walk in, use the conference room and all that other stuff. We want to get about 45 agents writing for us, because not just us that we're buying 100 million. Our mastermind students are probably going to buy a collective 100 million as well, and then just bringing in the public for first-time home buyers and a lot of new investors. So we think there'll be an environment there for you to get a lot of foot traffic and to get a lot of deals. We just don't want people who are not working with us to just basically sit around and try and grab some deals. We want to focus it, and that's what we can bring to the folks that are going to be signing up here, because there's a whole bunch of people who've been telling them, hold off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it'll look like working for Mr. Texas Real Estate. Will be the 45 book.
Yep.
So can I ask a point of clarification?
Sure.
All right, so between the two of you, you bought, I don't know, 300, 500 houses, somewhere plus minus.
Yeah, together we've got 200 doors in the last 18 months.
Okay, and you built a few businesses.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Seemingly, on metrics alone, that seems pretty successful. You've got this Texas Real Estate Center.
Yep.
You're going to be providing education,
Uh-huh.
training, leads, your expertise and mentorship,
Yes.
and then you're adding a whole layer of eXp value proposition on top of that.
Yes.
Why would someone say no to that?
I don't know.
Sounds terrible. It sounds
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you know,
But I like my broker. You
That's
know,
fine.
you know?
Great. I like your broker too. Sounds like a great guy. You know.
But
It's
here's
all
what
good happy
we're
hours.
going to make really clear. We're all there to make money and to get that passive income and get our doors and to, you know, basically lift ourselves up to the next level. And if you don't have that mindset, if you're just there because you're desperate, right? I need another deal. You know, we know in the agent world, it's a 80-20, maybe even a 90-10 world, right? So if you're just kind of, hey, I'm thinking about doing that, you should absolutely join eXp because the training is fantastic. Our team is great. But if you want to write for Mr. Texas Real Estate and we want to work on all those leads, we want you to be, I'm not going to say as aggressive as Jason and I, but we want to be somewhat aggressive. We want
Right.
Business.
agents that
Well,
want to make money.
are you-
Like a business owner.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Are you running a business or not?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, a lot of times people send us deals and they don't have the education training, and that takes more time than just going to find a deal ourselves.
Oh, that's
right?
true. That's
You know?
absolutely true.
So that's what people listening to this need to understand, the value that's coming from hundreds and hundreds of deals. And I made a joke about, you know, the broker thing, about, well, I like my broker. The thing is that people understand, entire brokers are moving to eXp.
Yeah, we'll take your broker too.
Yeah, you can bring the broker.
Bring a buddy. Everybody bring a buddy.
Sadly, a lot of brokers I've met, they're not very happy and they're
No.
not making very much money.
No, they just make slightly more money than the agents,
Yeah.
right? That's really what it is.
They get the title
Lot more
and the
stress.
ego, I guess, that to be a broker, but good lord, that is a nightmare of a business from
Right.
And when it comes down to it, your family, your kids, another COVID or some craziness
Right.
comes along, who's paying for their food? Who's paying your rent? Who's paying your mortgage? Who's paying for your college fund, healthcare, and all that? It's not the broker. It's you.
Mhm.
It's you. And
It's
if
you
don't-
earning, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't put that first, you can like your broker, and it's good to align, have good interests, and have a good relationship because that's just overall good for business. But at the end of the day, strategically aligning your business and treating it like a business in a way that can allow you to operate as lean as possible, but also as efficiently and effectively as possible. If you're not doing that thinking long term, you're always going to be on that hamster wheel. You're always going to be, there's always going to be something holding you back.
yeah.
Well, and I think what a lot of people miss is that real estate is highly regulated, at least on the consumer side, right?
Sure.
And those regulations are not going to reduce in burden, right? They're just going to become more burdensome, more burdensome, more burdensome. So Rob and I had a choice. It was either start our own brokerage or go over to eXp, especially when we started looking at the stuff on the national landscape and then looking at, okay, well, there's going to be a Texas Real Estate Center in California. There's
Yes.
going to be one in Jersey, right? And so it's like, well, how do we have to build all those different brokerages there, and it just turned into just a legal nightmare. So eXp is really the only one out there where we can expand nationally, now and truthfully internationally, without having that burden of having to understand the compliance in each one of these states. It just turns into a nightmare.
And we're working on bringing in 3 Southern California agents to represent
Yeah.
Texas Real Estate to bring those investors from Orange County out to
Mhm.
California, out to Texas here. So yeah, and you know, again, we're trying to make it so that everyone prospers. And one of the real hard, fast rules when people work for me, I always say, if after 2 years you don't have a rental property, then you've missed the point of working here. And then I don't want you working here. Right? And so joining our team, building your doors, building your portfolio, getting deals, that's what we're all about. So, hey, this is Robert and Jason This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. We'll be back.
Welcome back, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Jason and Rob here, actually talking about real estate.
There you go. Someone said yesterday, you guys ever talking about real estate?
We gotta start talking about real estate again.
So let me get this right. I can just join the eXp, bring in 100 people, and never have to work again? Is that what you're saying here?
That'd be nice. Not really.
No? Well, you actually got to put some time in?
Yeah, there's a little work involved. You know, it's compensation for contribution. In Glenn Sanford, he realized that agents were the backbone of these brokerages. They're building these brokerages up, but at the end of the day, if they have to retire, whether it's forced retirement or they actually want to enjoy life, they don't own anything. Unless they went out and paid for a huge franchise or built their own independent brokerage, they don't own anything. So they can retire, but they don't have anything to sell.
Right.
On top of that, there's nothing passive about it. So unless they did like a normal employee, went out and bought stocks, bonds, real estate, rental properties, their income drops. But Glenn realized agents build these brokerages like reward them. Compensation contribution, allowing them to take ownership in the company that they're building, and if they choose to, rewarding the agents through the revenue share program, or just telling their friends and family, other colleagues, real estate agents, how they can improve their business in the eXp business model.
So you actually have to work.
Oh,
Yes.
you gotta work.
We're looking for workers.
Houses have to sell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Club 45, we're looking for workers.
Yeah.
Folks that are out there, we're going to hustle. You don't have to do as much as Jason and I do, but we want to see some sort of evidence that there is hustling out there, because we're going to bring you a lot of leads. And it's not just waiting around for Jason and Rob to bring you leads, or waiting around for Jason and Rob to buy a house from you. You've got to go out and create your own farm and create your own lead system. And eXp delivers a nice little drip campaign. One of the things I saw that they'll do, there's already marketing campaigns within the organization that you can buy into. So everyone should be moving forward.
And a lot of you don't have to buy into it. They feed.
Yep.
They're feeding their agents not only leads. So we've got ExpressOffers.com that's feeding agents investor leads, motivated sellers. We're competing out in the iBuyer space, so they're feeding them leads. But I mean, you hit the nail on the head. In the beginning, I got so excited about the model, and I was recruiting every single agent that I came across. But a few months later, I'm like, I've got all these agents, and they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
They're really costing the company money,
Right.
time and money. So it's absolutely true. As let's just attack some of the misinformation that I hear out there. This is just a recruiting company. It's a network marketing, all that kind of stuff. So the fact of the matter is, if 100 agents sign up under Jason and Rob today and do not sell a single piece of real estate, nobody makes money.
Yeah.
Like I said, you've just cost a lot of people a lot of time and a lot of money. The only way people make money with this company is whenever real estate is sold. We're real estate brokers. Same thing with any brokers, brokerage in the world. Brokers spend so much time on this hamster wheel. They're always recruiting agents. They lose about a third of their agents every year. Industry average about 33%, mainly because they don't have the retention tools or benefits that we have with ownership, revenue share. But those brokers, not only spinning the wheels recruiting agents, they're not making any money unless those agents produce. So that's really important. We want agents who are actually selling real estate and helping others to do the same, right? Financially incentivized to like you guys are doing, train agents how to do deals, write contracts, go make money, and that's the only way that we make money in this deal. That's it.
So guys, let me just make sure that everyone's on the same page. If you're looking to move over, eXp Realty is a great home for you guys. We'd love to have you as part of our group that we're doing at the Texas Real Estate Center. You're going to text 281-401-9008 and just text the letters eXp, and we'll get back to you. And we've got a nice little system here. Chris and Brant will walk you through a lot of it. They do pretty standard training every week. We'll get you hooked up with that. We'll bring you in. We'll talk about the Club 45. We want to know who you are. and we'll get you signed up. So it's 281-401-9008. Text the letters EXP, and we'll bring you on board, and we'll get the whole process going. This is going to be big for us. We're really excited. We think having that center and what we can do for first-time home buyers as well as investors, getting both sides of the real estate world, is a no-brainer for folks who want to come on board. So that's what we're looking to do.
Well, and for those folks that are out of state, that are outside of Houston, we're still going to have all those same benefits for being a part of our team, because we just broadcast everything, right? You know, our classroom and everything.
Right.
All that stuff. We just broadcast, which no one should be unfamiliar with Zoom at this point, right?
No, right. I'm going to tell you right now that there are people right now listening to my voice in Riverside, California.
Yeah.
Right? Because the show goes on in Riverside. There are people listening to my voice right now in New York City and Philadelphia. So we're in those markets, and we got a good base of investors in both Southern California and the Northeast. We'd love to have you on the team, and we'll open up some doors for you in those markets as well.
Yeah, we can, I don't know if you want to get into it now or not, but let's talk about a little bit of forecasting to the future, because the real estate license is likely going to be mandatory in the very near future.
I have said this from day one. If I ever get drugged in front of some state house subcommittee on wholesaling and all that and real estate investing, everyone should be licensed.
Yeah,
Everyone should be licensed, right? Now, the investor buyer, it's probably not that important, but if you're wholesaling, like you're selling real estate. Let's just be real honest here. You're selling real estate, right?
Because they don't even use the words. They're like, I have a house at such and such street I'm selling. I'm like, nope, you have a contract
No, I haven't.
that you're looking to assign.
And then they get it all legalese, but you don't understand. I have an equitable interest. And I'm like, yeah, no one cares, dude. Nobody cares.
You actually closed
on.
Yeah, exactly. I have an equitable interest. No, you don't. You're a real estate agent.
I'll just say this, and this is the thing that always we stress with these wholesalers is become an agent. And I can absolutely tell you, you'll get more leads and more money based on the marketing dollars that you're now sending out in Yellow Postmark.
Right.
If you focus those dollars in on the marketplace, like an agent, because most agents don't even market, right?
Right.
So if you drop your $3,000 a month as an agent, holy cow, you're going to get a lot of leads and a lot of listings. You do much better.
I have a number to that.
Yeah.
So right before Brant told me about eXp, we did that study in our company. A lot of changes. Told my lead manager, hey, go through every single deal that we made an offer on and we did not get. What happened to it?
Sold by an agent.
Sold by an agent. Yeah. And then I said, all right, if we converted only 30% of those, it's not the best, but hey, 30%, what commission would that be? It was over $200,000 in gross commission to me that I had missed out on just because my eyes they were closed to that opportunity. Right. We don't do that anymore, but that also shows you the value that some of these agents or these investor agents have that they can tap into. And then I can only imagine what that number looks like at y'all's level of marketing.
Well, I'll tell you, we were spending $100,000 a month in marketing, and we did the Where Are They Now leads, like for the last 3 years. We went back and looked at it. Over 87% of those houses sold. So we were really, really good. We closed 1 in 10, 2 in 10, somewhere around there. But 87% of those that we didn't buy ended up selling at some point. And over, I think it was over 2/3 ended up on MLS represented by an agent. So it's like, why are we missing out on this revenue stream? It's crazy. I mean, especially the amount of money we spend on marketing.
So if you're an investor, you absolutely got to take a look at this. Give us a text, 281-401-9008. Text the letters EXP. All right, guys.
Welcome to the show, folks. Jason, Bible, Robert Orfino. We've got Chris and Brant in the studio talking about EXP.
Yeah, they joined us last week on the recording, so they're sticking around. They're going to do a couple more segments with you. So thanks for sticking around, guys. We appreciate it.
So Brant and I were chatting about how 70% of sellers typically list with the first agent they meet with, right? And that was a stat we uncovered years ago during our Right Path days. And I use the statistic to say, well, how many real estate investors, like how true is that for real estate investors that are going out to buy someone's house? But when you look at that 70% number, and then you look at, let's say, an agent that's got a closing ratio of 50, 60, 70%, you're like, You're like, wow, this is probably the easiest sales job. At least getting the initial appointment and getting the listing than any sales business I've ever seen. The closing ratio is never that high.
So we were talking about, some of the numbers we saw that if you, again, we're in a world now where 80-20 rule for sure applies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But of those 20%, after the first year, they're closing at least 1 out of every 2 listing appointments.
Yeah.
Which is so much higher than being a wholesaler.
Yeah.
Which is why all last summer we were saying all to that wholesale group, go get your license, go get your license, go get your license. We're saying it even stronger today. Get your license. If you're a wholesaler, just get your license. You're going to get 1 out of 2. I mean, again, if the median house in Houston right now, the median is $259, right? So what's a 3% commission on that? So 3 times 26, $7,800. You're going to get 80-20 split on that. So 78 times 2 is going to be $1,506. So you're going to get like $6,000.
Yeah.
Which is, guess what? The average wholesale fee.
Yeah.
That was a revelation for me. So it was a mental block in my head. I'm an investor. I'm just an investor. Yeah, I got my license just for access, but I don't want to do that. And I realized like some of these agents, they're crushing it.
Oh, yeah.
They're making more money than me.
Yeah.
And I'm an investor. Now, I've got some pretty good assets and income producing assets, but in the grand scheme of things, yeah, if you get that deal, and I've had flips, I've lost money. Like, I don't go to the marketing costs, I don't really think you lose money on commission. But some of these agents, especially if you know, or these investors, if you know how to convert, then you're adding another little value proposition, a huge value proposition that you have a seller that's contacting you saying, hey, I want to sell my house. And you're providing them with an option that they don't want or doesn't fit in their situation, and you're just throwing that lead away. You just lost a lot of money. I mean, what if you're closing 1 out of 10? What if 7 or 8 of those seriously would consider you listing it, or someone on your team listing it? Like, what would that do to your business year over year?
Yeah, I mean, I did it for years.
Right.
I did it for years, and so when I started, my eyes began to be open to this. We mentioned on the break, I was in a mastermind, some guys who had an investment company, and they were doing 40 to 50 investment deals a year. But off of that same marketing, no additional ad spend, they were able to create 65 listings that they monetized that. They were beginning to focus their business on that more so. Because I mean, look, we're in a seller's market. There are less motivated sellers whenever we're in a seller's market. So take what the market gives you to a certain extent, right?
Yes, yeah.
Right? And so that's one thing to talk about. And then the other thing is this, talk about too. The great debate, to get your license or not to get your license. I used to always tell people, real estate investors, no, you don't need your license 100% of the time. Now I say, you don't need it, but you should just go get it.
Yeah.
If this is also true, that 50 to 60% of all real estate transactions don't even run through the MLS, right? So, coming to a theater very, very soon, there's going to be a time whenever this legislation starts to happen, by far, investment transactions are going to by far outnumber your traditional real estate transactions. So you're either going to set yourself up to take advantage of that, or you're not. We're taking advantage in multiple ways, not only on businesses, but with eXp. Because now all of our agents, transactions that weren't running through the MLS, like all the deals that we're buying as investors now are going through the MLS, going through a brokerage, revenue share, and our agents in our downline, those transactions are going through there as well. So there's just all these ways where I don't understand. I don't understand why you wouldn't get it.
Here's one of the other things I found too when we were buying all these houses, and that is there is a significant portion of the population, homeowners, who believe it is illegal to sell their house without somebody without a real estate license.
Yeah.
So if you are not licensed and you are a wholesaler and you're sitting down with Mima and Grandpa trying to figure out what to do with their house, they may not sell their house to you because you're not licensed. I can tell you there is a big portion of the population. Yeah. The second thing is when I started hooking up with the guys like Stephen Hall down in SoCal, and when they came down here to Houston right after Harvey, and we were talking about marketing and how they built their empire, their real estate empire over there. One of the fascinating things that they told me is they said, "Oh, we just kind of wine and dine all the brokers." And I'm like, well, "How do you do?" And he's like, "Well, why do you spend all this money on marketing? Why don't you just wine and dine all the brokers?" I said, "Well, the problem is that nobody gets rich selling $80,000 houses here, so we have to go directly to the consumer." He goes, "Well, our price points are so high, everything goes to the brokers." And I was like, "Oh, so as markets become more expensive, they appreciate. More deals are going to flow through the brokerages. More deals are going to flow through agents. So if you're one of these guys that's like, I want to get my real estate license because, I look down on agents. Like, if you're one of those guys, your business is going to go to zero over the next couple of years. Especially in markets like this that appreciate. Now in Indiana, I mean, who cares, right? For $60,000 homes, right?
Right. Tulsa.
Tulsa, right. But places like Houston and Dallas and San Antonio, the real estate's become so expensive. The sellers have become very sophisticated. They're not going to sell to some guy that sends them a postcard. They're going to call a real estate agent up. So that's been my observation.
Just ask the investors in Illinois what they think about that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Illinois and Ohio, really cracking down. So, and again, the median house price here is $259, but the average house price is now $305, $306. Yeah. How long before it's $370, $380, $400? When we hit the FHA maximum, right, on those loans?
My prediction was in 8 years, our median home price would be $435.
Then you won't even be able to get an FHA back now.
Right. Well, the FHA limits will increase over there. Yeah, they'll increase over there.
To compare that, what's the average? And I don't know, but what's the average assignment fee?
It's like $7,500.
Yeah, last time I looked, it was $8,900.
So a $300,000 listing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like $9,000.
Yeah. So why are you working so hard for the wholesale?
Yeah, you're just walking away.
It doesn't make any sense.
When you're first starting, you really don't care about all the things that can happen. But once you get a little wealth and once you get a little traction, all of a sudden that E&O insurance becomes really attractive, right? You're like, oh, so I'm covered here, okay.
Yeah. There's kind of an ego conversation we need to have too, because a lot of, I told no one I had a real estate license because I'm a real estate investor. My wife used to be a hairstylist, and she'd come home from work, she's like, hey, my friend, she wants to list her house, hey, they want to buy a house. I'm like, hey, I'm a real estate investor, I don't do that. She said that dozens of times. One day she came home, she's like, hey, my friend wants to list her house. Do you want to talk to him? I'm like, babe, I'm busy, I'm a real estate investor. She said, well, the house is like $700,000. I thought you may be interested. I said, what's her name and number? Because I'm calling her right now. And I listed and sold the house because I just want to make money at the end.
Hey, we'll be right back. This is Texas Real Estate Radio Network. You guys are watching some likes and loves. 281-401-9008. I'm looking to get on eXp, join our team. We're excited about that. Getting everyone going over there. We have the Texas Real Estate Center. That'll be your new home base, and we'll be doing lots of leads through there. So make sure you reach out. Let's have that conversation. Ready?
Well, that's why we're getting away with all this stuff with small multifamily, because nobody else is playing in that space.
Yeah, because the big guys want the big stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
But our margins are ridiculous.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We're still talking eXp Realty. Guys, if you are interested in joining eXp, give us a text at 281-401-9008. That's 281-401-9008. Simply text eXp, and we'll start that conversation. We'll get you in. You can work in the Texas Real Estate Center. We're going to have lots of leads there. You can go ahead and buy properties for Mr. Texas Real Estate. Again, we're in the business to buy about another $100 million in the short time here, maybe even bigger, long ways out. And certainly if you're out of state, we'd love to have a conversation with you as well, since our network does funnel through a lot of real estate groups in different marketplaces. So again, 281-401-9008. Text eXp.
Now, last part you said, expanding on that, I've had family members out of state say, oh yeah, I just signed up for so-and-so. I didn't like with a different brokerage. I think you were in Texas. Like, no, we're an international company. We're one brokerage in the cloud. As long as you have the internet and we're on your MLS, like you could be an eXp agent.
Right. Ex-family members.
We're having conversations still.
Well, that's the thing. eXp may be new to certain people, but it's not a new business. it's hit that 10, 11-year mark where now it's becoming in the mainstream, right?
Yeah. It fastest growing brokerage in United States history. Publicly traded company, uploaded to the NASDAQ May of 2018. That should dispel a lot of the, oh, y'all are just a recruiting marketing company. We're on the NASDAQ, the SEC.
And I will say this. I didn't see a whole lot of agents getting fired during COVID, and we watched big brokerage sit there and just slash people. And Rob and I are watching it like, we're 2 weeks into this thing. Why are you firing all these people? Like, real estate's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So they didn't freak out like everybody else did, which was interesting to watch.
The company has no debt. And it's just.
Let's just go through the highlights for us. One, it's got fantastic training programs. A lot of them are recorded. You can watch it in your own time. Believe it or not, I think the eXp Help Center and the getting some actual people to talk to is a lot easier than most of the brokerages out there.
For sure.
Right? For sure, there's someone sitting there waiting for you. And then it's fastest growing, it's brand recognition, it's all those good things. They allow you to do your business, work on your business, and grow your business. And then on the compensation, again, we talked about it. You will get paid for people that you bring in, helping them do deals. You'll get bonuses for getting those guys to get to their numbers that they need to get to. And for us, Jason and I, we looked at those stock options and we said, hey, we want to pick this stuff up. And if we're going to go ahead and buy $100 million in the next 18 months, and we're going to go out and buy $250 million over the next 5 years, wow, that's a decent stock share for us. And so, looking at the compensation for us, looking at the compensation for the people we bring in, looking at the stock options that we can get at a discount, as Chris mentioned, as well as some of the other benefits like the pre-made marketing and the health insurance. This was not a very difficult. In fact, Brant kept selling, and I was like, okay, you have to stop. I'm in.
Stop.
I'm in.
We're overselling.
You're in. I'm in. I'm definitely in.
I get excited.
I got it. So those are the real stuff that we took a hard look at, and there's minutia there you're going to have to go through. Chris and Brant will happily sit down. They'll go through, give you some time, work out all the questions, and then go.
Yeah.
Right. We're in a super hyper market right now, and it's time to go. Yeah. And Jason and I have about $100 million buying power behind us over the next 18 months. So go write contracts for us.
Yeah. If I were an agent listening to this right now, or an investor wanting to learn, especially we meet so many guys like, I don't have any money. Where do I start?
Yeah.
Go get your real estate license. Sure. Call Jason and Rob. Get plugged in. Find out how to write offers for them. Think about that. $100 million of real estate next 18 months. How many, not only real estate deals are going to come from that?
Oh, yeah.
How many, every time we put a listing up, how many buyer leads do we get?
Yes.
Yeah. So the overflow, you're probably going to need some of these houses, these properties leased. Right.
Yes.
And some tenants turn into homeowners.
Sure. Absolutely.
We've got a $10,000 CRM called KD Core that we give to our agents for free. That is almost like magic. You just plug in your leads in the database and you cultivate these leads. This is how you. Well, the bottom line is we're not here just to teach a few agents how to sell some properties. We're trying to help people build a sustainable business. And eXp, that's one of the things. Like, I've met the founder, Glenn Sanford, multiple times. The dude's a visionary, and you got to realize too. We mentioned during this COVID thing, we didn't see eXp laying a lot of people off. I don't think we laid anyone off, other than some independent subcontractors where contracts were put in pause or whatever.
Just furloughed.
Furloughed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the word. And so, but this company was launched in 2009. How many real estate companies were launched in 2009? Right. And so that was the whole model, was sustainability, agent ownership, cloud-based. This is Amazon opposed to Walmart. Yesterday Walmart shutting down like 250.
That's right. Yeah.
Stores. That's scary. That's scary kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's actually not scary. There's going to be those who see an opportunity and take advantage of it and seize it, and there's those that unfortunately are going to get laid off and are going to say real estate doesn't work and all that kind of stuff. And sadly, there's going to be real estate investors who have been successful in the past who aren't going to learn. They're not going to adapt and change with the times, and they're not going to be in real estate much longer.
Well, you've been in this business a lot longer than I have, and I see the cycle every 3 to 5 years where there's this guy and he's like really hot and all of a sudden just disappears because the market changes and whatever gimmick he was playing is now gone.
Yeah.
And you get these guys that get real hot, 20, 30, 40 deals, 18, 24 months, and then all of a sudden they're gone. Like their marketing doesn't work anymore.
They're one-trick ponies. And I've fell in that trap before, and I'm like, bleep, why am I losing money on this? I'm like, wait, because I was doing what I was doing 2 years ago. And we get in our comfort zone. And another thing, too, about this model, like you got, I got started in 2007. You came in 11,
like
12, something like that.
Yeah.
So I've realized, and I've tried, I suck at scaling a business. Admit it. Like, I tried it. Eat 5,000. I'm like, all right, that's a cool little plaque in my office, and I'm like, never again. You guys are good at that, but we've changed our philosophy. We're small but mighty, investment company. But when I saw eXp, I was like, oh, I can do the scaling thing without any of the headaches, the bumps and bruises and risk and financial investment. I can do my little investment thing and have fun and make money, but I can scale at the same time. And that was just the beauty of this whole thing.
Hey, one last point here for our team, 281-401-9008, text the letters eXp. But Jason, just in the deals that we have on the board that are going under contract, with our purchasing power, there's about $140,000 in gross commissions in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say Audra's been with us for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, so
like, I was going through her stuff yesterday. We were sitting in the truck looking at another house, and it's over a million that we're buying, like 1.2, 1.5.
Well, if we get the condos that we're doing, it's a $2 million deal. So listen, guys, we're very serious about our team. We want you to join us, 281-401-9008. You'll have lots of leads at your disclosure, and we just want to make sure that you're going to work. We want people that are aggressive and top of the field here. So we'll see you guys later. We'll be back here from the break. Thanks, Brant and Chris, for joining us. It's been great. Thank you very much. We'll be back.